Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is keeping really safe and healthy. Now today guys, in today's video, I'm going to be watering a lot of the, in fact most of all of the succulents here in the polytunnel. And yesterday's video, I made a video on giving all the agaves, aloes, gasterias and haworthias, all on this stand here, a really good watering and a feeding to start them off for the year. And today I'm going to be doing all the crassulas on the back here, the echeverias, and some of the aeniums as well, in fact all of the aeniums, and a mixture of all different succulents on there. And I've done, now it's springtime here, I've done quite a few videos on starting up watering my cacti and succulents now, and I have made a video on probably a week ago now on watering cacti for the first time after their winter rest. And I mentioned in that video that the majority of the cacti, including all these here, have been kept still dry even though it's April and they are coming into growth. I'm keeping them all dry until the weather gets much warmer here, because I'm in Northern Ireland, which is still quite cool temperatures at this time of year until May comes about. So I'm keeping the majority of them dry, other than the epiphytic cacti, as you can see, all hanging up here and all coming into bud, which is very exciting. And some of the very shriveled cacti, such as the punchers, that can certainly take more water very early spring, and the ones in the very small pots all here, they're the only ones I've really given a water. All the other ones I'm still keeping dry, just for the next few weeks until the warmer weather comes up, because I have to be careful. I mentioned more in that video, because if you have cacti and they're indoors in a warm indoor environment, or you live in a climate now that's much warmer, then you can certainly go ahead and water your cacti now, because it is spring. But as I say, the reason why I'm holding back on the majority of mine is because of my climate, and it really does depend on so many things. But do check that video out if you want to know when to start watering your cacti and succulents. Links up above. Now, the reason why I've started giving all my succulents a water now, even though my climate is still quite cool here in April, is because in my experience, I've been growing cacti and succulents many years, I find succulents can certainly be given a watering, can take watering in cooler temperatures as long as the spring is here, than the cacti can. And I've always had good success that way. So this is why I've started them all up. I did give the majority of these a little bit of a water the other day when I rearranged them, but only a very light watering. This is going to be a really good watering for them today. I did the same thing with all of the aloes, gasterias and haworthias and agaves to start them up, and they're sort of looking good already. As you can see, the soil is wet and they're fattening up. And in this video, as I say, I mentioned in yesterday's video as well, I like to use a little water pumper, water pressure as they call it here, and I have put a little bit of fertilizer in. I use a very weak strength of a tomato feed, and that really helps to encourage flowering. Now, when I gave these a bit of a watering the other day, I used the tomato feed at half strength, which is what I always do. And then when they're sort of more into the growing season, I'll water them with a tomato feed, probably once every 2 to 3 waterings. But because this is only their second watering, I normally wouldn't give them any more tomato feed again, but I'm giving them a little bit more, just a very weak concentration of quarter the strength this time, just to give them a bit of a really good start up in the season. And then the next couple of waterings I give them will just be plain water. But if you want to know why I use tomato fertilizer to feed my cacti and succulents, do check a video I've made on why I like to use tomato fertilizer to feed my cacti and succulents. Links up above. And I do use normal cactus and succulent fertilizer as well in between, but as I say, that's obvious. But the reasons why I use tomato feed, do check that video out if you want to know. Now, I did in yesterday's video where I mentioned about the agaves, aloes, gasterias, haworthias and everything. I mentioned a little bit about the types of them, and I've got care videos on all them type of plants, so I mentioned that. Now, first of all, I'm going to mention here with the crassulas, and this is mostly crassulas, common known as jade plants, and this is what they usually look like as well. They have beautiful tiny little flowers, as in this one here. And then echeverias as well, graptopetalums, graptosedums. They're all sort of the same type of family with the echeverias. And I have made a video, before going any further, I have made a video on how to care for echeverias, and that would also cover graptosedums, graptoverias, graptopetalums. They're all similar care, and if you want to know how to care and grow echeveria plants, do check out that video. Links will be up above. And also I've made a video on how to remove the dead leaves such as this from your echeveria plants. Links also up above. See, echeverias as they grow, I'll just show you, might be a bit more of an example on these. These are larger graptopetalums and echeverias here. As they grow long, as you see, they grow sort of a big sort of like, where's this coming from now? Big stalk, and they drop these lower leaves as they grow. You can just pull them off like that. You can use tweezers. They usually just come off easy enough. But I've made a whole video on that, so do check that out if you want to know. It's normal for your echeverias, graptopetalums, graptosedums and the like to go brown, the leaves, and drop off as the plants grow. And you can easily prune these back. I mean, these grow big stalks. You can just cut them right back, propagate the top part, cut these right to the base, and they just pop a sort of rosette all around. Lovely as well. And I may do that with this probably in the next few weeks, or I might just leave them, but that's another thing entirely. So do check them two videos out, guys. And crassulas, I don't think I've made a care video yet on crassulas, probably because they're so varied. I mean, these are the common known as the jade plant, and they sort of different again to these type of crassulas. It's difficult to do one video to fit all, but I have done lots of individual types of videos. I've done one on how to get your jade money plant to flower, so if you want to know, links up above to that video. I've had this flower a couple of times for me since we've moved here and we put these into the polytunnel. I don't think they get as bright light as they really would like to flower, and I explain that in that video. But in the future, me and Hans are going to be moving on to a place where we can have a bit of land where we can put a glass or a clear polycarbonate greenhouse, and I think the maximum light will really encourage the flowering. But if you want to know how to get them to flower, and had success with this in the past when I had better lighting, do check that video out. There's a lot of little tips in that. And that's really it as well. I'm just trying to think if there's any other mention. I can mention a few videos, care videos I've done on these. Anything I can think of then I'll share at the end. But this is just me watering, and as I say, got the water there. I like to use, which I mentioned a few times, these little pressure sprayer watering cans. These are great because these have got long handles, and you can reach the parts that you can't normally reach with your watering can. If you only have a window sill collection, you can reach them easy enough, no problem. But with these, I find these are great for reaching all the ones at the back without knocking them all over. And also you're in control of the watering as well. With a watering can, it's easy to just go splash water all over the leaves. And when echeverias and a lot of succulents in general, if the leaves have water hanging in them for too long, they can cause rot as well. So that's something you have to be very careful about. With these, you can just direct this sort of right at the base then. It's just so much easier. I just love these. So that's that. And what I'm going to be doing this video then is watering these. I'm going to share a little bit of watering them with you. Everyone knows how to water, but I just want to share this as a little bit of a video vlog, and then I'll show you when I've done them all. So a few different types. What I'm going to be doing first is starting off with the ones at the back. This is an old, very old, almost bonsai looking jade plant. This one is one of Hans's, my fiance's. He brought this over when he lived in Sweden, so he's had this many, many years. This is also one of Hans's as well. This is known as the Crassula golem here. And this is my very old jade plant that I've had for many years. It was very large. I've had to prune it back, as you can see, over the years many times because it's just been very top heavy. But they're very easy to propagate. What I have done is I've made a video on how to propagate a Crassula ovata, the money plant, as it's nicknamed, the jade plant. And it's very easy to do from cuttings when you have to prune them back or you want to prune them back, and even from the leaves. So do check a video I've made out on how to propagate Crassula jade. So here we go then, enough of my waffle, and hopefully them links will help you if you want to know things like propagating and caring and flowering. So there we go here. What you want to do, as I say, I did give these a little bit of a watering the other day, just enough to wet the soil, because sometimes when you haven't watered them all through the winter and you give them one good watering, the water has a habit of just coming straight out the pot. So it's a bit of a pre-watering I did the other day, and this is good now. It's going to take up the water a lot better. There you go. And then ones, this you see, this is great to reach the ones you can't reach with a watering can. This one here's a little one being propagated. One little leaf that fell off that's turning into another little plant. There you go. Now this one here, as you can see, is going to need to be repotted this year, so that's going to be repotted. And that's another Crassula here. That's commonly known as the propeller plant. Great to be able to reach it there. So doing all these on the back. Absolutely great, and hope you guys are all keeping safe and well during this bit of an isolation thing we're going through at the moment. But certainly plants certainly keep us busy, and I have to say, if I didn't have my plants and my passion for plants, we know we'd all go stare crazy. So it is wonderful. Not only do I love my plants, but this is my job as well as a cacti succulent horticulturist and YouTuber. So for me, I certainly working on as normal. This one is Testudinary elephantypes, and it's also got dysphoria as well. There's the other name, elephantypes. It's nicknamed the elephant's foot because of its caudiciform there resembles like an elephant's foot. And it grows a vine sort of every year, sometimes even twice a year, then it dies back. That was the last 2 seasons. You just cut it back, it stays dormant, and then it regrows again. So pretty good. And these are my aeniums here as well. As I say, I'm just going to show you a little bit of watering them all, and then I will show you what it's like after I've done the table, because it could be a long video otherwise. The aeniums, these aeniums are very desperate for a drink. Yeah, it's good to see lots of new growth now coming on. All the succulents, and you can see there's new little growth coming through their little rosettes. Now this one is Crassula marginalis rubra, very beautiful Crassula here, and it almost looks sedum-like, and it is an absolutely gorgeous plant because in the middle of winter this goes almost green and white, but now we've had a few days of nice bright sunny weather here, and it has really caused it to colour, the coloration to go a lovely deep ruby colour. And what I'm going to be doing here, rather than spray it from the top, because as I say, you don't want water hanging about in them leaves, that could cause rot, especially as it's still early in spring, I can then direct this little sprayer right directly to the roots there and get just into the soil, which is what I want. Sometimes with very hanging plants like this, it may be better to put the water into the saucer and it can take it up, but I always try and avoid that if possible. Sometimes with overhanging plants you can't have much choice but to do that, but I always prefer to get into the root system if I can, because it can encourage the roots to grow a little bit too much out the pot. On to my Agaveria types here. We've got 2 sedums. Now that's them all watered on that table. I'm just going to show you this stand here. Now I'm going to be watering all of these except for these are known as the Phenesterias, sometimes known as little baby toes, and that these are very sensitive to water, and I'll be very careful with the watering. I'm going to hold back on watering these just for now. As I say, it's still early April, and this is Pelistopilios, one of the Mesembrymasthaceae family. I'm also going to withhold on watering this because I wait until the outer leaves have come away before I water them. And these are very similar to lithops in their watering schedule, in that I would not water this at all now. I probably won't water this at all now until I absolutely have to. This stores water, and what happens, you see, this actual plant here will use this as its water stores and food stores, and the leaves will start to come back and a little flower will start in the middle and come out. And these are the old long withered away leaves that have come away there, just a tiny bit of it left. And only when this outer layer of the leaves have come away will I water. So with these, a lot of people ask about lithops and pilosopilios and the like. Be very careful with the watering. Only really water until the leaves come back. I find if I wait till the leaves have totally come away, then I never lose them. But if I was to water this now, there's a chance this could rot, because they can be extremely tricky. And there's an old saying, if in doubt, do now. The only time I would give this a water when it still looks like this, without the leaves, the top part of the leaves coming away, is if it was extremely shriveled and it's very, very spongy. Then I'll water it and it will plump up and it won't rot, very unlikely to rot. But when it's nice and firm like this and it has no signs of these leaves coming away with a new in the middle, I would leave it. That's just a bit of a tip here, and say that's all the past 3 to 4 years leaves that have all shriveled away. I do remove them when they shrivel right back, but this is just the outer skin's left. Just a little tip there. So this is why this and this one I won't be watering. These are Fenisterias, am I pronouncing that right? Fucaria. This Fenisterias here. These are Fucarias, commonly known as the tiger jaws. And I give these a little bit of water when they start to go. As you can see, that's very, very soft there. So I'll give them a little tiny bit of water, but they're also very rot prone if you water them too much. So you have to be very careful. Say, all succulents, there's so many different types, and one size doesn't fit all with the watering. So these ones are just a little bit special. This one as well is commonly known as the staghorn succulent. That can take quite a bit of water, but I am careful with that one also. But all the other ones I'm going to go ahead and give a good watering to. These are commonly known as Adramicius, and they look very sort of aloe-like, but they are their own family, Adramicius, and these are going to be getting a good watering. And oops, I just banging my head then on the hanging basket. All the other ones here, including the string of pearls. You can always tell when string of pearls need a good watering, because not only do the leaves, some of the little pearls leaves shrivel, but they also go quite pale in appearance. This has been getting quite a bit of sun here and it's gone a little bit pale, but when I give it a good watering of feed, that's going to go nice and green. The same with the string of bananas and the string of tears and the like. So that's it, a little bit about them. And now I'm going to go ahead and water, and that's why I've mentioned I'm not going to be watering the ones on here for the reasons I mentioned earlier. So yep, going to start off with the Adramicius. Just need to pump the spray up again here. It's the only thing, this is a bit of a lot of arm exercise, pumping up these sprays to show you. That's the only downside with these. They're quite a lot of pumping, but you know, it keeps you fit. That's the only downside with these. I find they can be a bit back-breaking. And there you go. Giving all these a good old watering. And as I say, I've used a very weak strength tomato feed in these. This is the first watering I'm giving these completely of the year, but with a bit of the tomato feed, it would just give a bit of a body to encourage flowering. And these are some of my my epiphyllums that were on the table before I put them down here. I'll give these a bit of a watering too. And this is a very common house plant called string of pearls. And I have also made a video on how to care for and also how to propagate the string of pearls and how to prune it back, and a lot of videos on the string of pearls. So do check them out if you just do a little search for them online, because I may have run out of the links above. But if not, I'll put a link above now to a video on how to care for the string of pearls plant if you want to know how to. So that's the string of tears and a string of bananas. So I'm going to carry on then watering all of these here. Now nearly done. Just got this patchy phytum ovata here. Two lovely big fatty leaves have fallen off, just left them there because they will send out roots and form into a little plantlet. That's already got little roots on it there, and that's where I had to prune it back last fall because it was growing lanky, and that's the new little rosette that's forming at the end of the cut. Absolutely cute as anything. This is Senecio articulata. And then this one here is absolutely gorgeous. This is a sedum, sedum, let me just check the name, crescent sedum, I think it's called. Yes, sedum, Crino sedum, absolutely beautiful little sedum here. And good, again, it's a lovely one that goes a lovely deep coloration of red when it gets plenty of sunshine. So it's good to see having some nice sunny days lately where everything's sort of all very nice colour. And that's it, just give this another bit of a re-watering here. This bowl of little flowers on this little sedum here, and that's it, guys. I've given them all a water except for obviously the Festinarias there, and the Fenisterias there, and the Tiger Jaws. Kept them dry for obvious reasons, and that's everything sort of watered in the polytunnel. I'll just show you the other type of succulents I have. A lot of Graptophyllums, Graptosedums echiverius here, and the other aloes I've got there, and Kalanchoe. These I've already given a good water to as well. So as you can see, this has gone really firm. This was very wrinkled before, so all looking good. And here as well is another one, hanging basket. I'm going to give that a water. That's Sedum morganium, commonly known as the burrow's tail. Lovely hanging basket there. I have some other ones here as well on there. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And as I say, do check the links out on some of the individual care videos on here. And if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti succulents, then please do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. And stay tuned, there's going to be lots of how to care for videos coming up very soon, and lots of repotting individual plant videos as well coming up too. And thank you so much for all your support, guys. And as I say, during these crazy times, plant power really does get you through it all. So guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.